Have you ever loved God with everything in you, and then one day woken up and felt nothing? No excitement in worship, no hunger for the Word. Prayer feels like talking to a wall. You still believe, but you don't feel it anymore. And the scariest part isn't the distance itself. It's the fear that maybe it's permanent, that maybe you're the one Christian who can't find their way back. If that's you right now, I need you to hear this. Spiritual distance is not spiritual death. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to close that gap. Not through guilt, not through forcing emotion, but through a handful of simple, honest steps that have brought people back to God for thousands of years. Before we start, if this message speaks to you, hit subscribe and stay with me. Light Speaks is where we help you grow closer to God, one honest step at a time. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Feeling distant from God almost never happens overnight. It's rarely one big rebellion. It's usually 1,000 small skips, a missed prayer here, a rushed devotion there, a season of busyness that quietly became a habit. And here's the trap. The longer the distance lasts, the more shame creeps in. And shame convinces you to stay away longer, because now you feel too far gone to come back. That's not conviction. That's the enemy's strategy. Guilt says, come back. Shame says, don't bother, you've ruined it. God only ever uses the first voice. Number 1, stop treating the silence as rejection. When God feels distant, most people assume he moved. But look at Psalm chapter 34, verse 18. The Lord is near to those who are brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Nearness isn't measured by your feelings. It's a promise, not a sensation. Think about the prophet Elijah in 1 Kings 19. He had just witnessed one of the greatest miracles in Scripture, fire falling from heaven, and days later, he's sitting under a tree wanting to die, convinced he's alone. God doesn't rebuke him. He sends an angel with food, then meets him gently in a still small voice. Elijah wasn't abandoned in his numbness. He was met in it. That's the first shift. Distance is a feeling to work through, not proof of abandonment. Number 2, get honest before you get disciplined. Most people try to fix spiritual dryness by adding more rules, more Bible chapters, more prayer minutes, before they've dealt with what actually caused the drift. But discipline without honesty just becomes another performance. David modeled this in Psalm chapter 51 after his greatest failure. He didn't open with a 5-step comeback plan. He opened with raw honesty. Have mercy on me, O God. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity. He named the real thing first. Only after that confession does the psalm turn toward restoration. Restore to me the joy of your salvation. So before you build a new routine, ask yourself one honest question. What actually pulled me away? Busyness? Hurt? Doubt? Sin I've been avoiding? You can't rebuild a bridge without knowing where it broke. If this is hitting something real for you, drop a comment below. Just type, I'm coming back. I read every one, and I want to know I'm not just talking to a screen. Number 3, start smaller than you think you should. Here's where most comeback attempts fail. People try to jump from spiritual zero to spiritual hero in one day. An hour of prayer, 10 chapters of scripture, a total life overhaul. It doesn't last, and the crash makes the distance feel even wider. Look at how Jesus restored Peter in John chapter 21, after Peter had denied him 3 times. Jesus didn't demand a dramatic vow of loyalty. He asked one simple question, 3 times. Do you love me? Then he gave one instruction. Feed my sheep. Small, direct, repeatable. Restoration started with one honest yes, not 100 perfect ones. So don't aim for a 2-hour quiet time tomorrow morning. Aim for 5 honest minutes. 1 verse, read slowly. 1 sentence prayed out loud, even if it's just, God, I want you again. That sentence alone is a prayer heaven takes seriously. Number 4, let obedience lead, not emotion. This is the part nobody wants to hear, but it's the one that actually works. Feeling has to follow action, not the other way around. If you wait to feel like praying before you pray, you may wait years. Faithfulness is choosing the act before the emotion arrives. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6 says, "Without faith, it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who seek him." Notice the order. Seek first, reward follows. Not the reverse. Think of it like restarting a car battery that's gone dead. The engine doesn't roar to life the instant you connect the cables. There's a slow charge before there's power. Your small, faithful, feelingless obedience right now is the charge. The fire comes later, but it comes. Number 5, reconnect in community, not isolation. One of the quietest reasons people stay distant from God is that they try to fix it completely alone. But Scripture never treats faith as a solo project. Hebrews 10:25 warns against neglecting to meet together, specifically because isolation makes spiritual drift worse, not better. Look at Thomas in John chapter 20. He missed one gathering of the disciples, the exact moment Jesus appeared to them, and it cost him a week of doubt. The others didn't shame him back into belief. They kept showing up, kept telling him the truth, until he encountered Jesus himself. You don't need a crowd. You need one person, a friend, a small group, even a single honest conversation, who will remind you what's true when you can't feel it yourself. Here's what happens when you take these steps seriously. The numbness doesn't usually break all at once. It breaks quietly, in a moment you almost miss. A verse suddenly lands differently. A prayer stops feeling like performance. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31 promises that those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength, not because waiting is passive, but because it's positioned. You show up small, honest, and consistent, and God does what only He can do with the rest. Feeling far from God doesn't mean you've lost your faith. It means you're human, in a season every believer eventually walks through, even the ones whose lives look most on fire for God. The way back isn't a dramatic reset. It's smaller, honester, and quieter than that. Stop mistaking silence for rejection. Get honest about the real cause. Start small, let obedience lead, and stop trying to do it alone. Psalm chapter 34, verse 18 was never just a nice verse. It was a promise for exactly this moment. And maybe today is the day you let it be true for you. If this blesses you, subscribe to Light Speaks and comment below, "I'm coming back." Share this with someone who might be further from God than they're willing to admit. This might be the reminder they need. God bless you.